Miss Carrie here with Miss Carrie's Creations, and today we are going to put together another layout using the Craft with Heart subscription kit. The kit I will be using is the Yesterday and Today Cut Above kit that comes with your March subscription. Let's take a look at this kit. With the supplies in this kit, you can create these two layouts, and they include some very simple, easy to follow instructions. You get all of the photo holders that you need, some beautiful vintage stickers, some pre-printed photo mats, laser cut die cuts. These are really pretty. I love the flowers on this. You also get some pre-printed background pages and some memory protectors. Let me show you how I use the supplies in this kit to make my Fall Fest layout.
Before you continue, I have a small disclaimer. This may come as a surprise to you, but I have been homebound for 14 days, which makes video editing a little interesting. So if you happen to hear kids, dogs, power tools, or my neighbor's truck, because he's home too, in the background, please know that I tried my best. Let's continue on with the project.
Here are the photos I'm going to be using today of my children. These are from quite a long time ago from a fall fest, and I thought that this wheat really represented fall with the background colors of the layout. Now, these are not vintage photos. They are a bit overexposed because this is back when we developed film from our cameras, but I did feel like they went well with the designs and with the colors of the layout. Here are the pre-printed background pages of the layout, and you can see that title is in the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to rotate these pages. I'm just using the hold tight portion of the title, and it's going to be going vertically on my layout, which then puts all of this floral design across the bottom. I've already trimmed down my photos, and I've matted them in some espresso cardstock. When I placed these photos down on the background sheets, I realized they did not stand out as well as I liked. So I'm grabbing some papers from the Yesterday and Today pack, and I'm going to go ahead and add these to the backgrounds. Our monthly kits are designed to match our current papers, so I just had to grab from my stash and cut them down to match the layout. Before I adhere these down, I want to create some distressed edges. I'm going to be creating a torn edge on these papers. So I've grabbed my water brush and I'm drawing a water line along the edge. By doing this, I have a little bit more control with my tearing. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this a couple of times, allowing the water to soak in on either side. Then as I tear the paper, I have a little bit more control. It only tears where I've drawn that water line. This water brush trick is a great technique to use when you want a straight torn edge on your project. I'm also going to be rolling the edges of these pieces of paper. There's two ways to do this. On this first piece, I'm drawing a waterline on my surface, soaking the edge of paper into it, and then I'm pulling down those edges to create some rolls. On this second piece of paper, I'm going to draw a waterline along that torn edge, allowing that water to soak in, and then once it's soaked in, I can pull down the edge again and roll it. I found that the first way works a little bit better than the second, but you can choose the way that works for you. The top and bottom of each one of these sheets is going to be distressed with an edge distressor. We no longer carry these with Close to My Heart, but I will put a link below for one that Cricut carries that works just as well. To use these tools, you drag the little blades along the edge of your paper. The more pressure you apply, the more tears you will create. The less pressure, the less distressing. As you can see, I've done a combination of both. Off camera, I adhered these down to the backing sheets, and I've added some stitching for a little bit of extra texture with some tan thread. I really like the way this looks on the sheet. I also flattened those curls so that it's going to be much easier to place my items down onto the page. I'm going to start with the page on the left and add these photos of my son. I'm just going to arrange them onto the page, and I've realized with this third photo, I really don't want to cover up that curl. So I'm going to tuck the photo underneath that distressed edge. I'm also going to try to hide as much of this title as possible when placing down the photos, but some of this will be done with embellishments later. I'm going to grab a couple of pieces from the other kit to decorate my large photo, and you can see these are photo mats and photo frames. They're designed to go with the other kit that comes with this March set, but I've decided I want to use them on this layout. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my paper trimmer, and I'm going to trim them down so that they fit on either side of the photo. I'm going to cut off a strip from each side of that frame, and then I'm going to cut the script mat in half. Now I'm just going to double check that this is the look I want, and I'm going to place these behind that large photo on either side just to create a fun frame that makes that photo pop off the page. The only portion of the title that I want to keep are the words "hold tight." So I want to make sure that this other portion is hidden, and I'm going to do that by grabbing this little tag that comes with the kit, and I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces. Again, I've grabbed my little paper trimmer to cut the tag. The smaller portion is going to go at the top of the photo, the remaining portion of the tag at the bottom, creating a nice little accent behind the photo and hiding the rest of the title. I'm going to embellish this side of the page with some of those wheat stickers, and I've already removed the stickiness from them using my anti-static bag. Since I've removed the stickiness, I can just tuck those brush and wheat stickers behind the photo, arranging them as needed until I get the look that I want. Once I've achieved that look, I can glue down everything on this left page. As I get ready to place these photos down onto the page, I only add adhesive down the centers. This is a little trick I learned from my friend Erin Jacobson. It allows me to still tuck all of my accents and frames behind the photos without having to lift them off the page. I'm really glad I chose to use the accents from the other kit to frame this photo. I think it really helps it stand out on this side of the page. The second photo is tucked underneath that folded edge. The third photo is going to be added to the page using some foam squares that are placed right down the center of the photo, just in case I decide to tuck anything behind it. Now I can adhere down those 2 pieces of the tag to accent that far left photo and hide the remaining portion of the title. The next step is to add that brush and the wheat along the edge of the photo, and these are going to be done in a couple of different layers. Some are going to be adhered flat to the page, others are going to have some 3D foam dots on the tips of the wheat so that they pop out behind the photo, giving it a multi-dimensional look. This kit comes with a couple of word stickers that were intended for the title, but I'm going to use them to accent this photo. I want to use the words "this" and "moment," which I will pull off the sticker backing sheet. Then I'll add a couple of 3D foam dots to the back of each of the words and place them on the left side of the photo as an accent. I've been trying to use up some of my leftover supplies lately, and I found this small piece of burlap ribbon. I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and cut it apart, pull it into strands, and use it to accent each one of these little pieces of wheat. You've seen me do this in a couple of my other videos. You simply create a loop, attach that loop together using a glue dot, and then I just tuck it here behind the photo so I have a nice little burlap string accent. It just kind of gives it that nice country feel, gives it a fall feel, a nice rustic feel, and it adds some texture to the layout. With the left side of the layout nearly finished, I'm going to start working on the right page. I have these 2 photos of my daughter. I do want to tuck one of the photos under the fold. I felt like there was a lot of light near her face, and I kind of want to hide that light and still be able to show that rolled edge. Then I have this other photo that's going to line up with the other bottom photo on the left page. I wanted to create a pocket for my journaling, so I've grabbed this sheet from the Yesterday and Today paper pack, and you can see there's this little postcard piece down here at the bottom. So I've cut that out, and I'm just going to add it to the lower right-hand corner, and I'm going to make it into a fun little pocket for all of my accents and journaling. I want to make sure that I do add a couple of wheat accents over here on the pocket, so I've grabbed this little brush sticker and it's going to stick inside here too. Again, I did remove that stickiness so I could play with it a little bit before I committed. This little tab did come with the sticker packet and it's going to stick onto my journaling card. The kit comes with 2 border stickers, and if we look at the original layout, you can see they are supposed to go across the bottom of the layout. I chose to cut mine up and use it to accent this photo. It matches the stitching that's already on the layout and just gives it a nice little boost to pop the photo off the page. Now I can adhere my photos down onto the page, again only adding adhesive down the center so I can still tuck things behind the photo. That lower photo is going to be raised off the page using some foam squares, just like I did with the lower photo over on the left side. Off camera, I stitched this little pocket down to the page with this little bow embellishment on the side. This pocket's going to hold all of those embellishments and my journaling tag. Some of these embellishments did come with this kit. Others are designed to go with the other kit, but I felt like they worked well in this little pocket. I'm going to adhere these 3 embellishments down inside the pocket so that they stay in place. The journaling card itself is going to be free-flowing and be able to be pulled out of the pocket and read. I am going to add this little tab sticker that came with the kit just as a fun embellishment, and then place that journaling card back in the pocket. I'll add my journaling to it later. On the left side of this layout, I did add some of that fall wheat, and I want to do the same over here on the right side by this photo. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some of those wheat stickers again. I did use my anti-static bag on a few of these stickers so that I could play with some of their arrangement before I made my final decisions. Once I knew where I wanted to place each one of these stickers, I grabbed a couple of those foam dots and placed all of that wheat and the brush and the flowers around the corner of the photo. To match the left side of the layout, I created a few more of those burlap loops using those strands of thread. This added to the texture and the feel of the layout, and they actually kind of look like leaves peeking out behind the flowers. To finish off this corner, I grabbed another word sticker from that sticker sheet and attached it right to the corner of this photo using some 3D foam dots. I've decided to add a second title using this label sticker from the Yesterday and Today sticker sheet. I have decided I want it to say Fall Fest, not Then and Now. So in order to change the title, I have cut a little strip of French vanilla cardstock the same size as the center of that label. And then I'm going to grab my modern typewriter stamp set and I'm going to stamp a new title in espresso ink. I'm going to start in the center of that label with the F for the word fest so that I can make sure that it's nice and centered on that title. I do like to remove these small letter stamps using tweezers. If you've ever used small letter stamps, you notice that after a while they don't quite stick to your backing sheet, and that's because of the oils in your fingers. So I have found that removing them and replacing them using a set of tweezers prevents me from touching them too much with my fingers, and it helps them to stick much better to the backing sheet while they're being stored. As I adhere this stamped title onto the sticker, I realized I really like the way this looks. I was able to take those alphabet stamps and customize this sticker to make it match my layout. I'm going to go ahead and stick it over here onto the left side of the layout, and that way when people see this page, they know what was happening when these photos were being taken. I've decided to use these two stickers that were originally designed to go around this photo on the layout. I'm going to use them as accents in the upper right-hand corner and in the lower left-hand corner. This is just another way to use those accent stickers that come with the kit. Not only is it drawing my eye across the page, but it's also bringing in some more of that dark color from the paper that I chose from the Yesterday and Today paper packet. The last embellishment I want to add are some decorative knots on each one of the tags. This is our white ribbon that I dyed with some toffee ink using a spray pen. If you'd like to know how I did that, you can see the instructions in my dragonfly card video. After I've tied the knot and trimmed the ribbon, I wanted to fray the edges. So I've grabbed my poker tool here and I'm just snagging away at each of the threads along the ends. This is going to create a nice rugged, worn feel which matches the vintage look of the layout. I'm going to adhere each one of those decorative knots down using some Tumbo liquid adhesive, and this layout is complete. I did add a few more wheat and floral embellishments to this layout. Other than that, it's all ready to go into my album to talk about the Fall Fest my children attended and how I feel about holding them tight. Now that this is 20 years later, I do want to write a few little memories onto this little journaling card. My intentions for this tutorial was to show you that you could use elements of this kit in a way to match the photos that you had. So I did use the border over here. I did use those frame stickers. I also used quite a few of the tags and elements that were in the kit. I did use a couple elements from the other kit, which is okay because I will probably use elements from this kit on another page. I also had a few additions, these papers from the Yesterday and Today paper pack, and this sticker from the sticker sheet. But all in all, this layout turned out exactly how I wanted it to be to portray the memories that I have of my children 20 years ago at the Fall Fest. Remember, each one of these Craft with Heart kits come ready to assemble, designed beautifully for you to use as is, or you can do what I did and adjust them to fit the photos that you own. If you're interested in subscribing to the Craft with Heart scrapbook subscription, you can go to my website, click on the subscription tab, and you'll be able to see each of your options for our monthly kits. I want to thank you for joining me today as we created this Fall Fest layout using the Craft with Heart March subscription kit. I hope you're inspired to try something new on your next scrapbook layout. New projects are added every week to my blog and YouTube channel. If you enjoyed today's Fall Fest layout and wish to see more Craft with Heart projects in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification icon so that you are notified when the next video is added. If you'd like to see other scrapbook layouts I've created in the past using these Craft with Heart kits, you can view the entire collection using the link above. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.